again, it started with Swiss and it started with Pharrell having those real conversations. There was a lot of times I might have been in the crib and I'm alone and I might cry. Yeah. And be like, yo, I'm not happy. Yeah. And I'm tired of not being happy, yo. And I'm tired of thinking a nigga gonna go to the club every night and get drunk and come home and escape waking up to the same fuck shit the next day. I got tired of feeling like, I'm gonna come outside and, I'm not be in shape and, I'm gonna just buy fresh jewelry and clothes to hide that I'm out of shape and I'm really not comfortable in my spirit, in my mind. Like, yeah, I can look fresh. I got money to put on fly shit, but I ain't happy. So my soul wasn't resting right. My mind wasn't resting right, and a lot of that shit had to do with me not being in a good place with my kids. You feel me? I wasn't in a good place with my kids. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, I lived with the guilt of not being there for certain shit, yelling and screaming at them for shit when it could have been handled a different way. Not listening to them at times when I might have just needed to let them get their shit off. Because, I'm raising that parents' upbringing, that West Indian house, kids is to be seen, not to be seen or heard unless spoken to. You know what I'm saying? So your opinion don't matter in the house of a West Indian, the old school way, And it's also that thing where your parents ain't your friend. They're your parents. Your fucking friends is outside, nigga. You talk to them niggas how you want to talk to them. You ain't gonna move like that in the crib. But I was figuring like, I like being cool with my kids. I realized for a long time, my father wasn't cool to me. I loved the shit out of my father, but he wasn't cool to me. I didn't want to hang out with my father. I didn't want to do what he was doing, and everything that he made me do, it felt like it was shit that he made me do because he wanted me to do it. He wasn't interested in what I wanted to do. Wow. My mother was always with what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I had to turn it a little bit. I first wanted to talk about sex. My mom was cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go to the studio all the time. My mother was like, as long as you ain't in the street with them dudes you was with in the 80s carrying on, which is why we left Brooklyn to move to Long Island, right. Take your ass in the studio, and I'm going to cook good food and bring it so y'all ain't got to buy shit from the Chinese store across the street all the time. So my mother was way more supportive than my father, but I understood and appreciated why my father was on it because he didn't see the promise in hip hop culture early. Right. And he a licensed electrical contractor, so his whole shit is, I want to make sure that what you do that I know work for me is something that you learn so I could pass this shit to you. And at least I did my job as a father and not raise no bum child. So I appreciated it later, and me and my pops got super cool, and my pops is such a show off too. I was able to really bathe him in fly shit because he had a real close homie named Uncle Baba, and Uncle Baba used to be the pinky ring dude with the rollie on. Right. He owned a bar and shit. He was older than my father. And then one day I said, Pops, I'm gonna put some pinky ring diamond shit on you with some rollies and hands you up and you gonna go stunt on Uncle Baba. My father loved that shit so much. Clap it up for Pops. My Pops loved that shit so much. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful, man. But boss, you've done it, man. You've done it and you're still going though. Oh, I ain't done it. See, let me tell you something. The dope shit is we was busting ass, learning as we was going along. See, the problem is we're senseis now, right? So what I'm getting ready to do now and all of this blessings, these abundant of blessings that y'all are seeing, which is why, like you were saying, every one of my posts, the word blessing is in it. And God is the greatest and the blessings won't stop, so we don't stop. And in every single post every day, It's because I'm really realizing, like, when I started to remove the shit that I needed to not be complacent in no more, the Swiss would always say, you gotta find comfort in the uncomfortable space.
Y'all heard that? That's a gem. Hold that. Hold that.
Swiss would always say, find comfort in the uncomfortable space. And again, you love so hard that you're complacent in keeping people around that as much as you love them and they actually are good people, sometimes they gotta go. And I realized that some of those people that I had to remove, it was in the way of me having my relationships that I needed to have with my children.
It's beautiful to see. Yeah.
Y'all seeing my kids at the BET Awards was the first time I had 5 out of 6 of them together since they was born.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Back that up. Beautiful.
Then it's crazy because I got a 6th child, and me and this young man, Takai, we just met him for the first time about 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
So I've been carrying this burden and this weight
Yeah.
for a long time and got tired.